Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Autofocus. I'm Steven Streeter, and today we're going to take a look at how the creators of DC League of Superpets delivered a fun family film with the exception of a few minor details. Superpets is an action-filled adventure full of fun for the whole family. We open in Superman's origin story, but this time, as his baby self is being evacuated from the dying planet of Krypton, his puppy Krypto joins him for the ride. Following this gratifying reimagining of Superman's origin story, we find ourselves years later in Metropolis, with now adult Clark Kent and his full-grown pet, Krypto. Superman is voiced by John Krasinski, who does a great job as the Man of Steel. And then there's the disappointing performance of Dwayne Johnson as Krypto, who just sounds like he's at a podium reading lines into a mic.
All right, wake up, buddy. It is walk o'clock.
It's off-putting at first, and doesn't really get any better as the film continues. You just wish Johnson did something more interesting with his voice as to not pull you out of the movie every time his character opens his mouth.
All right, wake up, buddy. It is walk o'clock. Yes, and that hurt me as well, due to the fact that I feel pain as any ordinary canine would. Excellent shielding. That seemed incredibly painful.
It's like that annoying guy who just won't shut up when you're at the theater, opening his noisy bag of chips, slurping on his last drops of soda, or even answering their phone in the middle of the film. You just want to sit back and watch the movie in peace, but he just keeps pulling you out of it. That is what Krypto does to the audience when Dwayne Johnson's voice comes out of his mouth. Now, you can't talk about Dwayne Johnson without a little bit of Kevin Hart. These two are inseparable when it comes to these types of family movies. They are like the modern odd couple straight out of Hollywood. The new Martin and Lewis, Abbott and Costello, Lemon and Matthau, or even Schwarzenegger and DeVito, if you can imagine. And normally, this combination of straight man and funny guy would work. But in a cartoon, it's a difficult sell without some serious help from the animators. There is, however, two other examples of Johnson as an animated character within a couple of films, in which he rocks it. No pun intended. Sony Pictures' Planet 51 and Disney's Moana. First, in Planet 51, Johnson plays Captain Charles T. Baker, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed American astronaut who lands on a planet he believed was uninhabited. It's the story of E.T., but in reverse. Johnson does such a good job with his voice, it took the audience most of the movie to recognize that it was Dwayne Johnson playing the lead character. Then, in Moana, he plays Maui, and this time his character kinda looks like him, and his physical performance is infused into his animated avatar. This helps connect his voice to the animation, which is important when you have a voice as distinctive as Dwayne Johnson's. The animators could have provided more of Johnson's personality when developing the character of Krypto, giving Krypto some of Johnson's own character performance traits, rather than the basic cartoon character of Krypto provided in the film. But then, if Krypto acted like Johnson, wouldn't that have potentially the same effect as Johnson's distinctive voice overshadowing the character of the story, Krypto the Super Pet?
That's cold, man.
So really, Johnson needed to amp up his character voice performance, as to not pull the audience out every time his character opens his mouth. I can't stop saying it, he needs to fix the problem with his voice and actually perform, as opposed to just reading his lines into a mic from the script. Then you have Kevin Hart as Ace. Ace's character is believable and fun. Kevin does a great job of disappearing into his character, as does Kate McKinnon, Vanessa Bayer, Natasha Lyonne, and all the rest. So why did their performance work while Johnson's didn't? Did they do a great job of voice acting? Or could it be that their voices are naturally caricaturish and work in cartoons? It may be because Johnson's voice is so recognizable and persona so distinctive, it is difficult for him to escape without doing some serious acting. For instance, in an ending credit scene, Johnson voices 3 separate characters within the same scene, and yet all 3 characters played by Dwayne Johnson sound like Dwayne Johnson. So really, what can you do? Take some acting classes? Or perhaps avoid playing characters that require acting? In this case, it seems the creators hoped humor would patch up the problems.
Who was he working for? General Zod? The Legion of Doom?
FedEx.
Of course! The Federation of X's. Not to be trusted.
Not sure that was enough. So that leaves us with quite a conundrum. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is a great performer, who always brings his best to the screen. So what happened in Superpets is but a blemish on an otherwise glorious tapestry of work. Anyway, as the story continues, we get a morning montage of Krypto and Superman as they live their lives, with the morning walk, a game of fetch, and snack time, with the occasional interruption of crime fighting almost as a second thought. But first, let me just ask, what is the deal with Kal-El sleeping in? I thought he was Superman. And where is the awkward bumbling of Clark Kent? I know we only see Kal-El as Kent for a short time, but it would have been nice to see both of his identities portrayed, not just the same personality in two different outfits. We don't just want Superman, but also our klutzy, happy-go-lucky, lovable goofball Clark Kent. And who better to play these roles than Jim from The Office / Jack Ryan from Amazon? John Krasinski was made for this. Then there's the issue of Krypto's desire to go for a walk rather than performing his duties as a Caped Crusader. Yes, sure, he does fight crime helping Superman out, but it doesn't feel like that is his prime directive. It seems that fighting crime is more of a distraction from what he really wants, which is to go for a walk, play fetch, and eat, when he should be more of a collaborating hero than a selfish little pet. Finally, they arrive at the park where we meet Superman's love interest, Lois Lane. Krypto, clueless to the relationship blossoming between his partner and Lois, is pushed away by Superman via a game of fetch, when Krypto runs into a couple of dogs, whose main purpose is to provide an info dump and set up the plot. A Maltese, I think, and a Boston Terrier. I'm pretty sure. Who explained to Krypto that his relationship with his owner is about to change. And during the course of their conversation, Krypto reveals that Superman and his girlfriend sleep together whenever she comes over, kicking him out of the bed. Followed up by the Boston Terrier revealing that his owner Nancy got a female fiancé when his relationship with her changed. Now, as examples of platonic relationships, the nuclear family, and marriage are highlighted throughout the rest of the film, it feels like the writers are trying to backpedal on their plug of premarital relations and their political insert of token lesbians. Case in point, immediately after the 20-second descent into immorality, we are yanked into the mind of Krypto and experience a platonic relationship between Lois and Clark as only a dog could imagine, ending with a ring on the finger and a matrimonial kiss. Then, later, when Ace is telling his story about how he ended up in an animal shelter, he reveals he was once the family pet to what you might call a traditional-style nuclear family. And to top it all off, you have Superman proposing to Lois at the end of the film, solidifying the family-friendly focus of the story. Now, I'm not sure if they were actually trying to backpedal or if the morally questionable material was inserted at the back end as some kind of inclusivity requirement. But you have to admit that after a 20-second dive into what would be classically considered adult-themed content, there is a fast course correction that immediately comforts the mainstream family audience, as though the creators are testing the waters to see what they can get away with before crossing the line. So, feeling a bit awkward with my kids, I hold my breath and hope the cringe had passed, but of course, it hasn't. First, you have the cursing turtle Merton.
What just happened? No, seriously, what just happened? I can't see. But I still can't see. Where the am I?
Yes, it's censored, but with a beep which only highlights the cartoon character's use of adult language. It's kind of a running gag, but doesn't garner even a chuckle, more confusion if anything at all. Then there are the characters in the movie that are aware that they're in a movie.
Until they have their training montage.
Seriously, this film just keeps reminding you you're watching a film, which is completely the wrong experience. You want an escape, a break from responsibility, just to get away even for a little while. But no, you're watching a movie. Oh, and you're sitting through an animated picture. Yeah, you're wasting your time when you could be doing something more important than this fruitless endeavor. But no, this movie keeps reminding you that you're watching this movie. Overall, this film is a lightweight dive into a formulaic plot riddled with cheese and cringe that will either make you giggle or squirm. A film that is self-aware and not really worth the price of a movie ticket, but can be an entertaining addition to your family movie night.
Squeeze it, Bruce! That better be a licensed toy or I will freak out.
Well, that's all, folks. It's been informative. If this content has been helpful or absurd, let me know what you think in the comments below. All opinions are welcome here. Until next time, this has been another autofocus journey. I'm Steven Streeter. Catch you on the flip side. How about that?